This is Bob Anderson with the market update report for May 2022. I'm going to start it off with some good news. I think everybody would like a little good news. I sure know I do. Good news that I have to announce is that, and it's impacted some of my customers just recently, as a matter of fact. Production rates at the factories that we source our houses from have been picking up. It's the first time I could say that in over a year. Production rates are picking up. So basically what I've been told is that the average, that they are averaging about one more house a week. So what that does, if you think about that, is it takes the backlog and it starts shifting it forward. And it takes every house, the further back the house is, the more it impacts it forward. Because they're picking up an extra house. Like the house I was going to get a week ago wouldn't really impact it anyways. So that's good news. The other thing is that, there has been some slowdown in demand. But more importantly, some homes that have already been pre-ordered, pre-whatnot, have been getting pulled out of production lines, various reasons. Consumers no longer qualify for the loan they were getting, for example, because of interest rates. Again, remember I discussed interest rates going from 2.75 to over 5. They basically double. Now somebody that used to qualify for a $250,000 loan qualifies for maybe a $210,000 loan and no longer can get the house that they want. So, they pull back, change their mind, hope rates come down, whatever the situation may be. So there's been quite a few homes being pulled out of production from various sources, and also for various reasons. But, that is the main one that I can address that people may be aware of in their own life. Because I talked about it before. What you budgeted for 4 months ago is not necessarily what you budget for today. Now let's go to the underbelly of the market and what's going on. I have had a heck of a time dealing with building officials lately. It has gotten atrociously bad in certain areas. I've kind of alluded to it a little bit in the past, but it's really hit home for us recently. And thank God we are very conservative in how we run this business. I can't even stress to you how conservative I am about the way I run this business. But we were pushed to the limit recently because there's just been houses coming out of production, but I can't get building officials to issue building permits because they got 60,000 excuses as to why they can't do their job. So I'm going to give you one in particular. I have one house that I'm building in northern North Carolina that 3 months ago we applied for the building permit. A month later, which by the way, normally I can get a building permit in 48 hours. A month later, I'm being told, oh, well, we need to do a site inspection before you can get the building permit. Okay? Well, once we get the site inspection, how quickly I'll get the permit? Oh, permit's done. Just need a site inspection. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm saying I need a site inspection, which, by the way, this county never required before. Even though I have a multi-acre property, and I already have a Department of Health drawing of exactly where the septic's going, exactly where the house is going, because the Department of Health, who works for the same government, went out there and already did this. But hey, okay, you want to do a site inspection? No problem, do a site inspection. I'm not getting the house for 2 months. Well, little did I know, they weren't going to do the site inspection for 2 months. So now I have a house that I've got paid for sitting at the factory. I got no foundation, nothing. Had the same problem at another place. So there I am sitting there having to come up with money to pay for these houses, because the bottom line is when that house is done, it has to be paid for. Okay, just so you guys understand how that works. And but the relationships I have with the banks is, well, the house gets paid for when it's, out at the property getting built, not when, heck, I don't even have a building permit, let alone a foundation. So because we run our business extremely conservatively, and we pay cash for everything we have, we don't use lines of credit in this business. We had to scramble around, pay the factory, and keep our nose clean. But it's the conservative way that I run this business. It's the conservative way that I continue to run this business, and it's part of the reason why I don't allow debt to grow into my business and put me in debt so that I can't get out of my business. If I was in debt doing this and I had government officials just not doing their damn jobs, you can go sideways fast. Which leads me to my next topic, and that is builder issues that are starting to surface. When things go sideways, like when the stock market crashed, that's how they figured out Bernie Madoff was, not really investing people's money. So, it's the same thing when the housing market goes sideways. Interest rates go up, and supply chains shorten, and building costs soar. Well, when you have organizations that aren't necessarily managed the best way, that's when the turds float to the top. And I bring that up because cash flow is an extremely important aspect of a building business. Even if you got construction loans, even if you got lines of credit, cash flow is extremely, extremely important. You got to manage when you order your houses. You got to manage when they're coming out. You got to manage when your foundations are done. You got to manage this and that and everything else. And, one of the ways I keep contractors working for me is I pay them immediately when the job is done. And so, that certainly will make a contractor on a Thursday afternoon go run to your job and do it on Friday than somebody else's. If you know anything about contracting, you'll know what I mean. So anyways, I bring this up because I had on Friday, April, whatever that was, 29th or something, there is a lender that I deal with that a year ago, literally about a year ago, about March of last year, they called me because they were having an issue with a builder. And some of you may know, my expertise was always in my past was in the mortgage industry, and I used to manage millions of dollars in construction loans throughout the whole United States for manufactured modular homes, millions and millions in every state in the United States. So anyways, I had this phone call come to me, and they were telling me the scenario of what was going on, and I said, that lender doesn't have any money. I mean, not that lender, that builder doesn't have any money. They're like, what do you mean? No, that's not what he's telling us. I said, okay. Either that or he's just making totally irrational, non-commonsensical decisions. Because I'm just telling you right now, that builder doesn't have any money. They may have cash, but they don't have the cash to run their business. Well, fast forward, Friday, I get an email. That builder has filed for bankruptcy protection, and all those houses that are out in the field that this lender did for them are stuck. They've been stuck. Matter of fact, they told me 4 months ago that they haven't been able to, these projects haven't been moving forward. I said, I told you, that builder doesn't have any money, doesn't have the money to run his business. Anyways, I bring that up because this is the kind of stuff that's happening. It's going to continue to happen as rates are going up and things are getting a little left, and building costs are not coming down. These things are going to keep flushing out. These type of issues are going to keep flushing out. And then, of course, keep in mind, if you have a bunch of builders out there that built homes on spec based off of quote-unquote loan approvals with qualified buyers, that the buyers no longer qualified because the rates went up, then these builders have houses too. They may be in unique locations. They may be on unique lots that they're going to have to legally figure out how to backtrack their way out of that contract with that consumer and get rid of the house. These things are definitely going on. There is a large retail chain that I'm going to leave nameless in this video, but I was told also on Friday that they currently have 12 homes heading down the foreclosure process that were in construction on people's property. 12. So, those are some of the underbelly things that are going to continue to swell, I think, going forward. Now, what does that mean for housing? Well, it doesn't mean anything negative, really, other than to the specific individual that may be caught up in that with a builder that doesn't really know how to manage either their cash flow or what it is that, or you, meaning you, the consumer, through the process of here's what you really can buy. I don't care what that lender's saying or whatever. The housing market itself is solid. There's a huge difference between today and 2008. First of all, in 2008, people were buying houses off spec. They weren't even living in them. Over 30% of homes being sold in certain parts of this country never even had anybody living in them. That's not the kind of stuff going on today. Oh, and they were buying them with no money down, no income verification, no nothing. But anyways, today, people are buying houses to actually physically live in them. They're doing verified down payments. They're doing verified income. And their credit standards are higher today than they were back in 2008. Also, this is a totally different market. The issue today is the shortage that has continued to grow through time subsequent to 2008, when they finally got all those houses flushed out. And then you're looking at like 2014 all the way through 2020s, where the shortage just continued to expand. And we have done nothing to address that. And and an article came out from the state of North Carolina government, the Department of Budgeting and Taxation. Didn't even know there was one. Glad I pay freaking state taxes, huh? The Department of Budgeting and Taxation came out with a report on Friday, April 29th, that they project by 2030 that the state of North Carolina will have 900,000 homes that they will be short because of the continued relocation of people into North Carolina, which you got the same issue in Virginia, and you got the same issue, definitely got that same issue going on in South Carolina. People moving to these states from some of the places that they may not want to live anymore, and these markets not being able to keep up with the demand for homes. So do I see housing prices softening? Possibly. I do definitely see possibly that happening. And that's only happening because when you take rates from 3 to 5, that takes the whole possibility of what people can afford and shift it down. Every person is impacted by what they can afford when those rates go from 3 to 5. And the average person, having done thousands of transactions in my life for helping people buy a house, thousands, literally thousands. I should bring the trophies out and show them to you someday. They're in my closet. But for doing that. But there are, the average person always asks, well, what can I qualify for? And that somehow they magically go out and spend every one of those dollars. Well, from the moment you ask what you qualified for to the moment you actually go to buy, if rates change, you no longer can buy that. And so, do I see prices maybe softening? I certainly hope they don't inflate anymore. The big difference between pricing going up today and pricing going up in 2008 is 2008, that was artificial demand. Today it's called this nasty thing called inflation. And for those of you that are my age who lived through it in the Carter administration, hey, it's just another screwed up government screwing with prices. So I'm used to that. I also lived through the housing crisis, of course. That was a total different market. And by golly, I was screaming about it then. This time I'm not screaming about it because this is different. This is real valid demand. But unfortunately, people are having to pay more primarily because of inflation. But anyways, that's your housing report. Oh, by the way, I have 2 houses that I've never put on my website, never put in videos or nothing, that I'm setting in the next couple weeks. One is called the Double Eagle at the Cape. I'm setting that one up on a basement. I already have in Western Carolina outside of Asheville. I also have like 2 or 3 more of those already ordered, but I'm going to be doing a video and a walkthrough of that house. And then I also have an Oakmont being set here soon. I've already got other retailers that are going to walk through it because they want to see one too. So anyways, I will be doing videos of that house. I'm excited to see that one also. But anyways, everybody have a good day. And if there's any questions you may have for me or whatnot, just let me know. And remember, I do what I can to be your advocate, but I also do what I can to make sure you, as a potential consumer for wherever you buy your house, are informed while you're doing it. Talk to you later. Bye.